Hey guys, just wanted to go to do a little video about the Steadyrack, which is my favorite indoor space-saving rack system. They're from Australia. I discovered them online a few years ago when we downsized from a big house in Brooklyn and moved back into my little one-bedroom condo, and I had all these bikes. And I wanted to keep the expensive ones in my living room, you know, safer than keeping in the storage area. So I needed to get 4 bikes in my living room, and not easy to do as anybody lives in New York City or a small apartment. So the Steadyrack is great because you rack the front wheel and they pivot, so you can pivot them. The bike will hinge and turn, as you can see behind me, and so it leaves a space. You don't have the full, height of the bike off the wall, so you have to put it in a corner. So I put 3 bikes right here in the walk area. It's just dead space, really. You could probably put a bookshelf. I used to have a bookshelf there. So I have 3 bikes there. And you pivot them out of the way. It goes right, easy to put it on, put the bike on, take it off when you're going out for a ride or coming home. So let me show you that. So you can see I've got 3 bikes there in this walkway, pardon the mess, but, and if you come up here, you can see they pivot. So you can pivot it out the whole way, and they pivot next to each other. So you kind of get you get that like that. So, and then if I take one off here, hang on a second. And then when you're not using it, you can slide it up, but they also pivot up like this. So they can be pushed out of the way completely. But they're very sturdy. You need a drill, and you need to find a beam, and you basically put the brackets in. You don't need to find a beam, but maybe you need to have it braced with with wood into the beams if you want them closer together. I didn't want to do that since it's in the living room. So each one of these is in a beam, so they have to be spaced out, right? So you can also stagger them so one's higher than the other, so the handlebars aren't, so you can put them even closer together. But I didn't do that here. And you have like that's the pivot that the wheel sits in, as you can see. So when you turn it to the side, it doesn't come out. So that's the Steadyrack system that I highly recommend if you don't have a lot of space, or even for a garage. One thing you have to keep in mind is that you want to measure it out right and get the height right. I didn't do that quite right because I have my rollers there. I didn't have them there in the beginning because we moved in the spring. I wasn't riding my rollers there with my storage, and when I brought them back and I tried to store them underneath there, the wheels, I have to pivot the bikes out and slide it in because it won't fit. 'Cause I didn't put the rack high enough. So measure that stuff out pretty well, and you just need a drill, and it takes a little bit of time, but it's not super hard. A really good space saving rack system. So check them out, Steadyrack.